Welcome, friends. If you're new here, I'm Nadi Larawandez, and on this journey, we explore mental clarity, emotional strength, and living with intention. Today, we dive deep, far beyond tips and platitudes, into 10 tangible daily habits that can reshape how you experience your inner world. A note before we begin. This isn't about overnight transformation. It's about small, consistent shifts that accumulate into profound change. Each section invites you to pause, reflect, and practice. Ready? Let's get started. Don't just consume, engage. Keep a journal or document open. After each habit, pause to answer the reflection prompts and experiment with the practice suggestions. Feel free to spread this out over days or weeks. Transformation is a marathon, not a sprint. Habit 1. Emotional check-in. What it is. An emotional check-in is a brief intentional pause each morning to notice what's happening inside you. You ask 3 simple questions. How am I feeling today? Where in my body do I feel that emotion? What might have triggered it? Why it matters? We often operate on autopilot, letting unspoken emotions drive our words and actions. Naming what you feel gives you agency. When you label emotions, anger, sadness, joy, frustration, you activate the part of your brain responsible for self-regulation. Instead of being swept away by a tidal wave of feelings, you become the observer. How to practice. 1. Upon waking, sit upright or stay in bed, whichever feels natural. 2. Breathe deeply 3 times, centering your mind. 3. Ask yourself the 3 questions. Speak aloud or write your answers. 4. If you don't land on a word, use a feelings wheel chart to expand your emotional vocabulary. Tips for when you're stuck. Keep a printed or digital feelings wheel nearby. Experiment with scales. On a scale of 1 to 10, how intense is this emotion? If nothing comes immediately, journal whatever thought follows. I feel, and let the entry evolve. Here are some reflection prompts. Which emotion surfaced most frequently this week? How did noticing it change your behavior or mindset? Habit 2. Move your body. Daily. Daily movement can be anything that increases your heart rate or stretches your muscles. It doesn't require a gym membership or fancy equipment. Exercise releases endorphins, neurotransmitters that relieve pain and boost pleasure. Movement also downregulates the stress response by balancing cortisol levels and stimulating parasympathetic activity. Over time, a consistent movement habit builds resilience against anxiety and depression. How to practice it. Morning stretch, 5 to 10 minutes. Focus on big muscle groups, hamstrings, hips, shoulders. Calming walk, 10 to 15 minutes. Choose a quiet route. Headphones optional, breathe deeply. Dance break, 5 minutes. Put on an upbeat song and let go. Tips for when you're struggling. Block time on your calendar as a non-negotiable appointment. Pair movement with a pleasurable routine. Listen to a favorite podcast or playlist. Start with micro movements. Calf raises while brushing teeth, neck rolls at your desk. Reflection prompts. How do you feel immediately after movement? What type of movement brings you the most joy or calm? Habit 3. Set daily boundaries. Intentional decisions about where you invest your energy, saying yes to what nourishes you and no to what depletes you. Without boundaries, you risk burnout, resentment, and emotional exhaustion. Boundaries create mental space for what truly matters and prevent you from overextending yourself. Some good practices to try. 1. List your daily commitments and digital touchpoints, social media notifications. 2. Identify one thing you can say no to today, a meeting, a scroll session, an extra task. 3. Communicate that boundary kindly but firmly. I won't be available after 7 p.m. or I'm taking a tech break until after breakfast. Tips for effective boundaries. Use I statements. I need to focus on X right now. Keep explanations brief. Over-justification can undermine your stance. Enlist an accountability partner. Share your boundary plan and ask them to check in. Reflection prompts. What boundary was hardest to enforce and why? Which boundary protected your energy most effectively? Habit 4. Daily gratitude practice. Each evening, list 3 specific things you feel grateful for, big or small. Why it matters? Focusing on gratitude reorients your attention to what's positive. Neuroscientists have found that deliberately noting good experiences strengthens neural pathways linked to positive emotion, making you more attuned to life's gifts. How to practice it? Write 3 gratitude entries before bed. Be precise. Instead of "I'm grateful for my family," try "I'm grateful that my sister called me today." Pair your list with 2 minutes of deep breathing to seal the practice. Tips to deepen gratitude. Challenge yourself. Find gratitude for something difficult or uncomfortable. Keep a visual gratitude jar. Drop notes into a jar and read them when you need a boost. Share 1 gratitude item with a friend or partner each night. You can ask yourself these 2 simple questions. Which type of gratitude entry made you smile most? How did pairing gratitude with breathing affect your sleep quality? Habit 5. Journal to process emotions. An unfiltered private writing session where you pour out thoughts and feelings without self-editing. Unexpressed emotions can manifest as anxiety, insomnia, or even headaches. Journaling provides an outlet, transforming swirling thoughts into coherent narratives you can examine and learn from. How to practice. Choose a consistent time and place, even if it's just 5 minutes at lunch. Use prompts to kickstart your writing. Today, I felt triggered by. What I need right now is a thought I want to let go of. Write quickly. Silence your inner editor. Here are some tips for consistency. Set a timer for 5 minutes. Short bursts beat sporadic marathon sessions. Keep your journal visible. A small cue that says, "Write now." Experiment with digital or voice journaling if you dread pen on paper. Reflection. Prompts. What pattern did you notice in your entries this week? How did putting thoughts on paper shift your perspective? Habit 6. Take a digital detox break. A deliberate pause from screens, smartphones, computers, tablets, for a set period daily. The average person checks their phone nearly 100 times a day. Constant notifications fragment your attention, spike stress hormones, and fuel comparison loops. A short digital detox resets your nervous system and restores mental clarity. How to practice it? Start small, 30 minutes phone-free after lunch. Remove devices from the bedroom to improve sleep. Use Do Not Disturb mode or grayscale settings to reduce stimulus. Tips to make it stick. Replace phone time with a grounding activity. Walk, read, stretch. Tell a friend or post in a community about your detox to build accountability. Track your streaks. Celebrate each day you complete your detox. Reflection. Prompts. What emotions or cravings arose when you first unplugged? How did your focus and mood shift by the end of your detox window? Habit 7. Connect with someone authentically. A daily commitment to genuine human connection, sharing your real thoughts and feelings with another person. Loneliness and isolation undermine emotional well-being. Authentic connection activates oxytocin, the bonding hormone, reducing stress and fostering belonging. How to practice. Send a voice note instead of a text. Voice conveys tone and warmth. Check in on a friend with an open-ended question. How are you really? Share one vulnerability. I've been feeling overwhelmed, or I need advice on. Tips for deepening connection. Listen more than you speak. Create space for the other person. Mirror their emotions. If they're sad, acknowledge it. I hear how hard this is. Schedule weekly video calls if distance is an issue. Here are some reflection prompts. How did opening up affect your relationship? What moved you most, speaking or listening? Habit 8. Make time for joy. A daily appointment with something purely pleasurable or restorative. No agenda other than enjoyment. Why is it important? Joy counterbalances stress. It ignites creativity, boosts resilience, and recharges your emotional batteries. Joy isn't frivolous, it's essential. How to practice it? Block 15-30 minutes on your calendar labeled joy time. Choose activities that light you up: painting, singing, reading fiction, playing with a pet, or simply lying in the sun.
treat rest itself as joy, a 10-minute power nap or sitting quietly outside. Tips for consistency.
Rotate through different joyful activities to keep it exciting. Pair joy with accountability. Invite a friend to laugh with you. Honor whatever feels fun in the moment, even if it's just staring at the clouds. Ask yourself these simple questions. Which joyful activity left you feeling most alive? How did scheduling joy change your daily rhythm? Habit 9. Mindful breathing or meditation. Conscious focus on your breath or a brief guided meditation to anchor yourself in the present moment. Mindful breathing reduces cortisol, shifts brain activity toward calm, and interrupts runaway thought cycles. Just 1 minute can reset your system. You can practice it with these simple steps. 1. Find a quiet spot and sit comfortably. 2. Set a timer for 1 to 5 minutes. 3. Inhale for 4 counts. Exhale for 6, allowing any thoughts to pass without judgment. 4. Notice the rise and fall of your chest or belly. Follow these tips to reduce resistance. Use an app like Insight Timer or Headspace for short guided sessions. Begin with 1 minute. Small wins build momentum. Anchor the practice to an existing routine, like before your morning coffee. Reflection prompts. What sensations did you notice in your body? How long did it take before your mind began to wander? Habit 10. Reflect before bed. A nightly ritual to review the day's emotional experiences and glean lessons or insights. Unprocessed emotions can lead to rumination and insomnia. A deliberate reflection practice provides closure, signaling to your brain that it's safe to sleep. Here's my advices. Create a calming environment, dim lights, soft music, or a candle. Ask yourself 3 questions. What emotions did I carry today? What lesson did I learn? What do I want to carry into tomorrow? Write quick bullet points. Brevity preserves clarity. In addition, you can use these tips for transformation. Keep your reflection under 5 minutes to avoid stimulating your mind too much before sleep. Focus on at least one positive takeaway to end the day on an uplifting note. If an issue still feels unresolved, jot down a single next step action for tomorrow. Reflection. Prompts. Did you notice any recurring emotional themes? How did this ritual affect the quality of your sleep? Conclusion. Cultivating emotional resilience. Transforming emotional health happens one day at a time. These 10 habits, emotional check-ins, movement, boundaries, gratitude, journaling, digital detox, authentic connection, joy, mindful breathing, and nightly reflection, work together like interlocking gears. You can start with one habit for a week, then layer in another. Change isn't linear. Some days you'll forget your practice, feel restless, or stumble back into old patterns. That's human. The magic lies in persistence, forgiving yourself, recommitting, and showing up again tomorrow. Next steps. 1. Choose one habit to implement this week. 2. Track your progress in a simple chart or app. 3. Reflect weekly on what's working and adapt as needed. Emotional health isn't a destination, it's a lifelong practice. By tending to your inner world daily, you build strength, clarity, and joy that ripple into every corner of your life. Thank you for watching. I'd love to hear which habit you'll start today. Leave a comment or share this guide with someone on their emotional wellness journey. Your intentional acts of self-care are the most powerful gift you can give yourself. See you on the next video.